Hey mer friends, my name's Justine, I'm the Mermaid Seamstress, and today I'm going to talk about how I started a mermaid pod. So earlier this fall, I moved. I moved to a new city where I had no friends, I didn't know anybody, and I wanted somebody to swim with, but I didn't know who wanted to be a mermaid. In the past, I have converted my own mermaids, mostly my friends from college, who I figured out that they were interested after many years of friendship and talking with them, and they knew what I did on YouTube and wanted to try it for themselves. But you can't necessarily go up and start a conversation with, hey, you're a mermaid, right? Unless that person is wearing a whole bunch of Little Mermaid jewelry and tells you himself that he is a mermaid. So that's what ended up happening. I was at work one day and my coworker introduced me to another coworker of mine who introduced himself as Eric, you know, like from The Little Mermaid. And I asked him, oh, are you really into mermaids? And he goes, yes, I perform as a mermaid. And I said, wait, like in a tail? And that's where the conversation really took off. We totally blew my other coworker's mind. She was sitting there and it's like we started speaking a different language, because all of a sudden it was, what tail do you have? What monofin do you have? Blah, 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 blah. And we discovered that he knows of a couple people in our area who are also MERS, but he doesn't know them super duper well. So we decided that we were going to put together a Facebook group. The hard part to balance about making a Facebook page for your mermaid group is that you have to balance privacy with findability or public access to it. So the compromise that we came up with was that we have our Merfolk of Charleston Facebook page, which is linked to a closed group. And what that means is that the group can be seen by people searching for it on Facebook. But in order to get into it, you have to be approved by an admin or a moderator. So the reason we decided on a closed group was not to be exclusive in any way. It was really honestly to protect us as mermaids, because our Facebook page has gotten a lot of likes on it from people who were a little bit sketchy. They would talk about really weird things on the page and we would block them, and we decided that we did not want that. If we were going to be posting meetup announcements or pictures from meetups, or sharing those pictures among the group, or talking about more personal things, that we didn't want that to be out in public on our Facebook page. So we decided to create a closed group, and what that means is that any mermaid who requests to be part of the group is still fully visible to the public, but all of the posts under that are private to the group, which means that we can post event announcements like meetups, we can post personal stories and pictures, we can post more personal arguments without having to worry about randoms or merverts hijacking those posts and coming and showing up to our meetups and things like that. So kind of our selection process then was, you know, if you were known to be a mermaid by a moderator, you could get in automatically and we would share a request with you. And if you requested to be part of our group, we asked, and you were unknown to us, we asked that you fill out a small questionnaire. And this is automatically programmed into the closed group settings. And it was basically questions of, are you in the general area? How long have you been mermaiding? And what kind of tail monofin combo do you have? And this was just kind of, these were our gauge, as it were, to tell like who is actually part of the community, or maybe a newcomer to a community, who is a legitimate mermaid and who might be a mervert or another random who would put the safety of our group in danger. We've gotten a lot of weird answers to those questions, but I don't think we've ever had, but it's always been like, I've been a mermaid for life and I don't have a monofin yet, but I'm looking to get this one. Or you know, we're up to professional mermaids who are actually performing in the area joining our group. So in order to schedule our first meetup, we made a post on the Facebook group. By this time we had about 8 or 11 mermaids that had joined our group. We made a post on the Facebook group asking for people's recommendations on tail-friendly pools in the area, because we had people from kind of all over the area, and we wanted to make sure that we could find a number of different places so that we could either rotate the location or find a more central location. And we wanted to make sure that we had a pool that was big enough to accommodate the whole group if possible. So we got back probably 3 or 4 different pools in the area that allowed mermaid tails, and we did a poll based on location, where people would like to swim. And in that invitation we included the price of admission, the location of the pool, and some dates that we could potentially go. Because a lot of the pools in our area are at this time of year taken over by the local swim teams, and so we had to make sure that we went on a day where lap swim was available, but also that it wasn't super busy. So by doing that system, we ended up with a location. Some of our friends actually worked at one of the pools. 2 of the members in our group actually ended up working at a pool, and they knew an empty time, and so we scheduled an event and we had our first meetup. And I actually have a video of that first meetup, which I will link in the cards above. But we had just such a great time, and it was a really comfortable group of people. There was no drama as of yet, and I really appreciate that. But that was kind of my experience starting up a group. And unfortunately, I'm gonna be moving again from this area in January, and so what I've decided to do is just pass along admin rights to the Facebook page and the Facebook group to other trusted members of the group for them to keep it running. And that's kind of the nice thing about the Facebook group, is because anybody can post an event on the group page. So if somebody is deciding they want to go for a swim, they can just post the day and time they're going to be swimming, and if people can go, they go, and if people can't go, you know, it's not a big deal. It's a very casual swim. Or if we want to host bigger events, we can then do polls on the Facebook page about where we want to go, what time we want to go, and try and get as many people in the group as possible. So another advantage of having a Facebook group is that you can select a number of different admins and share the responsibility of accepting people. You can pass the baton if you are moving out of the area or decide you don't feel comfortable in a position of power anymore. And the admin, one thing you should make sure when you're choosing your admins or your moderators is that they're the most neutral people in the group. In order not to cause drama and to not you know, instigate anything, you want to make sure to choose people who are very open in the group and very open to everybody in the group, and make sure that they're people who will respect the rest of the people in the group. If you choose somebody who's very biased in the group, you run the risk of... So that's kind of my experience building a merfolk pod. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you're new to the channel and you want to see more of my content. And share this video with anybody that... If you want to support me, you can support me on patreon.com/themermaidseamstress. There you can find, for as little as $1 a month, you can follow me to find exclusive behind the scenes content, sneak peeks, polls, on future content, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, fish friends.